The reinstated Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, speaking there on the election and the process in his polling unit. All right, let's bring in Jide Ojo, political affairs analyst. He's joining us via Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening.
Let's also bring in Theophilus Elama, a reporter who is now in Benin City. Theophilus, give us updates, on all that you've observed in this election, moving from where you were before now to, now that you're in Benin City.
All right, Precious, we moved all the way from Ward 2 in Irua, that's in Odomi Primary School in Onwesa, and that's where the governorship candidates of the APC cast his ballot all the way into Benin City, where we observed and noticed that many of the polling units we have seen on the way here, within an hour or two, we're already done with voting, and people are just waiting for the time to allow before they can for them to count, for the ballot to be counted. And that's how it has been in several parts of the state coming into Benin City that we noticed. Of course, we are right now at Oredo, Ward 12, where we noticed that by the time we got in here, voting and counting has ended, and we saw some INEC officials leaving the place to, of course, INEC office to remit the results to the officials. And so from the people we spoke with earlier, the elections went on quite well. But I have an election observer from the Situation Room here in Edo State, Edem. He will be talking to us on what he saw and what he has noticed going all around Edo State, Benin City, to monitor the elections. Edem, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
All right. So how has it been so far, monitoring the elections in Edo State?
Okay, so far so good. We, the Situation Room observers, we have noticed that first, there is very low turnout, and then up to about 9:30, actually the INEC ad hoc staffs were actually trying to do setup. So there was a delay in starting the process, okay? So we noticed delay in setting up and delay in voting, okay? We also noticed that the number of accredited registered voters that turned out that were also waiting for INEC ad hoc staff to set up were very, very low. And then it has also really shown that perhaps it could be the rain, it could be the tension that were around that also deter people from coming out to vote. The voting has ended and results have been posted around some of the polling booths. And then what we have noticed again, that which also collaborates with what we saw earlier in the morning, is that imagine a polling unit that had like almost like 400 registered voters, and then you now see the results of those that voted altogether across the party line, less than 100, some less than 150. So it also shows the level at which these voters actually did not turn out. Okay. And then
let me take you on the issue of starting late of the elections. What do you think might have caused it? Is it the rain? Is it technology? What do you think might have happened?
Okay, for us, during our leadership had engagement, stakeholders engagement, and we had serious engagement with INEC. And INEC had promised that all the logistics have been put in place to ensure early starting. But coming to the field, we saw a different thing. So we cannot actually attribute to that, because like in this particular collation center, when we arrived in the morning, the equipment were already uploaded into the vehicles, but they did not move. So as at 8:30 that voting accreditation supposed to start, they did not even move from here. So that again, we did not know what actually happened.
Okay, so for all the way, how would you rate the process so far?
Okay, so far around the Benin City, the Ward 12, Ward 7, Ward 9, Ward 10, that we have Ward 6 and 5 that we have monitored. It was relatively calm, and it's only in few places that we saw people trading votes, and from my other colleague that also witnessed same in other places, I think EFCC arrested those alleged vote traders and things like that. So, but generally, the turnout is very, very poor.
All right, Edem, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, you heard the Situation Room, of course, the election observer saying the outcome was so poor in Benin City. Precious.
Thank you so much, Theophilus, for that update. I know we'll be getting more update from you as the process progresses. Reporter live for us there in Benin City, Edo State, Theophilus Elama. Let's take a break now. And when we return, we'll continue with our conversation on the governorship election in Edo State. Stay with us.
Global Entrepreneurship Festival to be hosted at the Entrepreneurship Village in Nigeria, November 22nd to the 24th. Join world leaders, heads of state, diplomats, ministers, governors, investors, policymakers, tech leaders, organizations, startups, and entrepreneurs from all over the world. To attend, visit www.globalentrepreneurshipfestival.com. For partnerships, call 234-912-165-9914. Over 20 million viewers, 5,000 event participants, 200 exhibitors, 43 global speakers, and 12 events, which includes conferences, trade fairs, innovation and robotics expo, art and creative exhibitions, a dazzling fashion show, and a closing concert. All in one global festival. Don't miss it.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Edo Decides on TVC News. We've been bringing you a report from across Edo State on what's going on in this governorship election. I'm still speaking with Jide Ologun, who is a lawyer. I also have the Director of Current Affairs, TVC News and TVC Communications, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. And just to bring in a third Jide into the conversation, because I seem to be speaking with three Jides today. Jide Ojo, who is an election observer, he joins me virtually. Speak to us about your observation, or your assessment of the process so far.
Thank you, Precious. My observations thus far is that it's a potpourri of positives and negatives. The election generally is peaceful, at least in Benin City where I observed. There was strict enforcement of the restriction of movement order. So vehicles, there were roadblocks mounted by security agencies as early as 6 a.m. When I ventured out. There was atmosphere of peace all around. And where I observed, which is a registration area center, Badu Primary School, which is in Oredo local government, what struck me was that at the dot of 7, the poll officials were already on ground. They had arrived at the registration area center. But as you know, the registration area center contains about 12 or more wards, polling units rather. So for those poll officials who asked Agbado Primary School as their place of primary assignments where they were going to attend to voters, they were able to commence the processing